Leaning and Stevens give Kent the lead after 14 day one wickets. After quite a wait, Kent finally picked up their first win of the LV County Championship against Leicestershire last time out. Their hosts Worcestershire also tasted victory, theirs coming against a young Sussex side back at New Road. Both would be hoping for a second in the second round of the divisional stage. Kent took the chance to bowl after winning the toss and immediately found success with the ball. Matt Milnes continuing his form from last week, Mitchell out caught behind by a sprawling Jordan Cox. Milnes had another, the competition's top scorer Jake Libby only able to add 2 before his off stump was flattened. He'd started in inspired form. Tom Fell the next to go, strangled down the leg side for 3. D'Oliveira made it 4, LBW to Milnes for 4. Haynes fell for 8 to Nathan Gilchrist, the pair's really in a pickle. Ed Barnard had provided the bulk of the resistance and the majority of his side's runs so far, but his stay was finally brought to an end by Darren Stevens, caught behind for 25. Cox and Leach put a stop to the Kent joy before lunch, a mini recovery coming from the 7th wicket pair, who took their side in at 91 for 6. They kept up where they'd left off after the break, the score past 100 and the partnership up to 50 off 60 balls. But Kent came flying back out of the traps after lunch too. Leach's off stump removed by Gilchrist. Josh Baker followed 2 balls later, bowled as he looked to leave. He dealt with Pennington as well, trapped in front, pad smashed and out for 3. When Gilchrist beat Finch's defences, he'd sealed his 5-wicket bag and condemned Worcestershire to a first innings score of 133 all out, another side taken apart by the Kent attack. Bar a brief spell of success thanks to Barnard, Cox and Leach, the pairs had crumbled. No other players able to get out of single figures, and Kent given a massive opportunity to capitalise, largely thanks to Milnes with 4 for 35, and Gilchrist, who took 5 for 38 from his 11.4 overs. Worcestershire though fought back at the start of Kent's innings. Crawley out in the 2nd over, caught behind for 5. And then Cox followed a few overs later, 2 for Pennington early. Joe Denley departed to make it 3 quick wickets, the perfect pair's reply. Once again it was up to Leaning, alongside Robinson, to steady the wobble, and they did just that. Crisis averted as the session headed towards tea. The pair would reach the break without further damage inflicted, the score 72 for 3, over halfway to Worcestershire's first innings total. They continued after the break, a key partnership for Kent, 50 runs added from 63 balls, some counter-attacking action on show from these two. And then the Kent keeper had himself a 50, scored off 61 balls, a deserved knock to give his side a platform. But almost as soon as he'd reached the total, he was gone, caught behind to Pennington. Leaning though wasn't put off, he had Darren Stevens for company now, and the all-rounder started to do what he does best, and scored at more than a run a ball to take his side into the lead, and then up to 150. It didn't take him long to eclipse his colleagues' total off a third of as many balls, their partnership soon worth 50 off 69 deliveries. And then the inevitable, a 50 for Stevens, scored off just 47 balls. Leaning followed him, his half-century brought up from 100 more deliveries than his colleagues, and with 4 fewer boundaries. And the lead would breach 50 before the close, Kent starting to feel confident when the day was at an end, the score 184 for 4. With Stevens and Leaning both looking well set, Kent will hope their double-digit lead can move past 100 on day 2, and with the form both have showed with the bat in the past week, you wouldn't bet against the hosts.